without having to speak. Famously quoted by Rachel Zoe. Hi everyone, and welcome to the short series entitled Designing a Greener Future. I'm your host, Alicia Hill, also founder of Vite, a sustainable women's clothing brand. I created this short series to take a deeper dive into who I am as a designer, as well as my inspiration behind the brand. You're in for a treat, because today I'm sharing with you how I began in fashion, where it all started for me, so stay tuned. My story as a fashion designer began at the young age of 7 years old. I still remember this day like it was yesterday. I went into my mother's room. She had a pile of clothes that she was getting ready to donate to Goodwill. We all know that pile of clothes that sits around for like 2 months before you actually take it to the store. Yeah, that was what happened. So I came across a pair of mom jeans that I thought were really cute, but I also wanted to transform them into something else. So I went into the linen closet, grabbed my grandmother's sewing kit, and got to work. Grabbed some scissors and just started like cutting into the jeans and sewing until I created a handbag. So this is my first project as a designer. So yeah, I'll bring it closer. So I took the jeans and stitched along the side, took a Sharpie and wrote love XOXO, and took some of my mom's red lipstick and kissed the pockets, put a belt through the loop. My waist was so tiny back then, but yes, this was my belt from the 3rd grade, and put 2 straps on the bag. The next day at school, I wore this purse and I received so many compliments, and that feeling just sparked something in me, and that was the beginning of something great. So over the years, my mother taught me how to use a sewing machine. So I really enjoyed making handbags. That was where I got my start. Here's another bag that I made a few years later with the machine. So it's a little cleaner. I was a growing child, so I constantly grew out of clothes. So I just created something else. So sustainability and repurposing has always been in my blood. So that's kind of funny now. Super old school, only the real ones know. This is from Limited 2. Yeah, Limited 2 was my favorite store back in the day. So I began designing handbags first around the age of 7. And later on, when I was 10, was when I created my first sketchbook. I won't embarrass myself with showing you guys photos of my very first sketch, but I had such a wild imagination, and my love for fashion just grew and grew over the years. I became very curious about how garments and clothes were constructed, so I would take apart old t-shirts and just get an understanding for how this was put together. For my senior project in high school, I actually created a sustainable clothing brand. It was called Verde Couture, which means green in Spanish, and then couture because I wanted to be fancy. But I created 5 looks of recycled pieces, so old like shopping bags, anything I could get my hands on that was a recycled material. I created different dresses out of it. So that was really fun. So once again, that sustainability aspect is really embedded in my DNA. So it's really interesting to see where I started and where I am today, but it's always been a part of me to create something that serves a purpose and has a deeper meaning. After high school, I attended the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and graduated with a bachelor's degree in apparel product design. And my time in college was really the chance to explore my unique design style and also perfect the craft and learn more about the business aspect of designing. While in college, I had the chance to design for so many fashion shows. And what I wanted to make sure I incorporated in each collection was that it always had a deeper meaning behind it. It wasn't just a beautiful skirt or a beautiful blouse, but it actually had a deeper meaning or message embedded in the clothing. I ultimately believe clothes should make you feel something. Like when you put your outfit on, you should feel a sense of pride for what you're wearing. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about how clothing in general can just change your whole persona. So I was really grateful for those opportunities to get my name out there. I designed for the Goodwill Rock the Runway fashion show, which was centered around repurposing garments. So you would go into Goodwill locations from all over. That will give you a stipend, you pick out what you want and recreate them into a totally different piece. So that fashion show was really interesting, and it channeled my creativity to create a completely new garment from an existing piece prior to that would have probably never had a second life, but I was able to give it a second life. So that was fun. I had a chance to film different commercials and also appear on the news station. That was really awesome. Also, while in college, I completed an internship with the famous Laquan Smith. That was such an amazing experience for me, being this young Southern belle in the big city of New York. I had the chance to really see the ins and outs of the fashion industry. What really drew me to Laquan was, for one, the fact that he looked just like me. He was a young designer and he had an unconventional story. And for myself, I also have an unconventional story. So I needed to see, what does that actually look like? He was very inspiring and still is very inspiring to me. And I am really extremely grateful that I had the opportunity to intern with him and learn so much and make lasting connections that are still very valid to this day for me. So that was a really great experience as well. After graduating from college, I relocated to New York City. That was a fun time. I worked in custom made-to-measure suiting, and that job really showed me how to pay attention to detail down to the eighth of an inch. So when you're making custom suits, it is very meticulous. Like, you have to get your measurements down correctly. I learned so much about fit in general and dressing different body types, how much ease a garment may need depending on what it's used for. Is this a standing garment or does it need to be functional? If it's a standing garment, then you can go as tight and slim as you want to. But if you need something that is functional, you'll have to add a little more space so you can sit comfortably, eat, and let your pants expand if they need to, just a hair. So that was great. I also learned so much about different fabrics, how different fabrics drape, the weather that might be more appropriate for certain fabrics versus another. So that really helped me learn the art of design. While living in New York, I created a small capsule collection that gained the attention of different celebrity stylists, as well as had some of my garments featured in different editorial shoots. That moment really solidified my dream of being a designer, gave me that confidence boost that my work is quality and it deserves to be in the spaces of some of the biggest names as well. What that capsule collection taught me, it showed me how to work with manufacturers, how to work with fabric vendors, anything that goes into creating different pieces, as well as the capturing the look. So knowing how to find the right photographer, how the photo should look, how to upload to your website. So everything from my past has equipped me for where I am today. So I am extremely grateful for all of the experiences that have led me to where I am today. Well, that's all I have for this episode of Designing a Greener Future. Be sure to tune in next week where I will be sharing with you the inspiration behind Vite and the trip that started it all. So if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, or share this video to your friends and family, and be sure to support my crowdfunding campaign. The link is attached below. I will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks. Toodles.